All right, once again, we are going to be doing a special day today. We talked yesterday about AEW Beach Break, and of course, this Saturday we're going to be doing an official Royal Rumble match prediction. But we wanted to talk about a few things because if you notice here in our ring, what do we got, man?
Well, inside this ring
and outside
the ring, we have every single Royal Rumble winner. You notice all around the ring, every man standing around this ring, all except Kofi Kingston, who you might not be able to see over here on the side. You might only be able to see his leg, but he's doing an epic save, holding onto the rope. Everybody else standing around this ring has won at least one Royal Rumble.
Yeah, some of them like Stone Cold, Randy Orton, Shawn Michaels, Hogan, John Cena. They've won multiple Royal Rumbles. That's everybody but 1 year. We don't have Benoit. But other than that, we've got everybody here. And we're talking about what's going on this weekend. We're not talking about we're not going to predict on this show who's going to win the Royal Rumble. We're going to make some predictions of possibly some people who could be in the Royal Rumble. And I do have to start with one person because there's been a lot of rumors of it. And I mentioned it yesterday. Just talked on it just a second. And this rumor is just I'd say it's a 0.5% that there's any truth to it. And that's Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, of course, the grandson of a plumber, Cody Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes' son, Dusty Rhodes' brother, or not Stardust, Goldust brother. He was Stardust. We'll get to that in a second. But there's been rumors that his contract's up. He was one of the founding members of AEW. Is there any chance possible that he is going to sign with WWE and then debut at the Royal Rumble this weekend?
I don't think so.
What do you think?
I don't think he's going to go to WWE. I don't know. Could he make just like a special appearance?
Well, he could.
Could he just or could he sign with him? Could he shock the wrestling world? I don't know. I don't think so, though.
Now, he could make an appearance, and we'll get to that in a second. But what is the chance that he actually signs like a 3-year deal and wrestles exclusively for WWE? And now that they've made some partnership with AEW, WWE, which that ain't happening. But we're setting that aside. What's the chances that he leaves AEW altogether and joins WWE?
I'd say slim to none.
Why? First of all, let's just recap something. Number one, he's been to WWE.
That's what I was thinking.
He's done that. He was younger and he was just learning and he didn't have a lot under his belt. But he walked out on his own terms when he was Stardust. He didn't want to be Stardust. Nobody wanted him to be Stardust. He left on his own terms. Went to Independence, went to Japan, had success, and then him and the Bucks said, "Hey, let's do All Out." Nobody said they could do that. Or All In. Yeah, it was All In at the time. Let's do All In. Nobody said they could do it. And they booked the show, really, apart from any wrestling company, sold it out. And then he helped form, now he doesn't own, and he doesn't make all the decisions, but he helped form AEW. That has been so successful. Mm-hmm. You know he's got more creative control in AEW than he'll ever have in WWE. Mm-hmm. He's got his Rhodes to the Top show that's tied to AEW. He's on the big show or whatever the stupid name of this show is. The Go Big Show. I've not watched it, but he's got that. And I know he's getting booed, but that has nothing to do with AEW. No. There's still interest in Cody Rhodes in AEW. Mm-hmm. Why would he go to WWE?
I don't see it happening.
The only way is if he has a lot of creative control because he's not going to be Stardust again.
Or if they're going to put the world title on him.
Yeah, if they've guaranteed him something like that. Now, I don't think the wrestlers have a lot of creative control unless you're Cena or somebody like that, Undertaker. Cody's not going to have that. I mean, he can literally go there in 6 months be Stardust again. I mean, does he want to take that chance? Now, they could be throwing a ton of money at him.
Yeah,
now that would change something, I guess. And maybe he's wanting to... he went out on his own before to see if he could do it. Now he's going back to see if he can be a star. I don't know. Maybe there's some interest there. And I think AEW loves it that people are rumored that he's going to the Royal Rumble because it gets a buzz. No one about Cody. There's no chance he's going in. There's no chance. So we'll put him away. Now, what if they have a partnership? There's been rumors that WWE is going to finally open that forbidden door and work with other companies. They made the announcement. Mickie James, who's the Impact Knockout Women's Champion, is going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble, so that's cool. That's cool for them. It's cool. But if they really, and I can see maybe WWE working with somebody from Impact. Moose, I think, is a champion there. I don't know a lot about Impact, but I can see maybe one or two of those guys being peppered into the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Because they're a small company. that has no threat of overtaking WWE. No threat.
No.
What's the chances of WWE actually opening the forbidden door and just having a partnership with AEW? Does that happen?
I don't know. I just feel like I can't see it happening because they've kind of been in competition.
Yeah.
And some of the AEW wrestlers say certain things about WWE, and I just don't see it. I don't see it happening.
If for some reason they did, who could you see possibly making an appearance at Royal Rumble? Not signing a long-term deal, but just making an appearance at Royal Rumble.
I don't know.
Could it be Cody again?
Could it be?
Would he do a one-time shot? What about CM Punk? Now, I think he hates WWE.
That's probably about -1%.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. Or maybe even, here's somebody I could see.
Chris Jericho.
He's still got a good relationship. He did the interview with Austin. Yeah. So there could be somebody like that. I look for it more to be maybe another female, or maybe remember the tag team. We don't follow Impact that much, but remember the Iconics, those two girls. Well, they're in Impact. They're the Inspiration, I think, or something like that. They were offered a spot, and the girls were in Rumble. They said, "No, we don't want to do it." So good for them. But it could be somebody else like that. It could be somebody from Impact. It could be somebody from New Japan. Maybe. I don't think so. I don't think they would have the mainstream appeal. So I can see it work with Impact because it makes sense. And AEW's done some with Impact, and that seems like that deal's over. But I don't see them. I don't see an AEW guy, an active AEW guy, coming in and working the Royal Rumble. I don't see it. I would love to see it, but I don't see it. Now,
yeah, me neither. I just don't think I can see it happening.
What about somebody like from NXT? NXT has kind of flushed out the older talent, or the good talent, and the experienced talent, the veteran talent.
The ones who've been there for a couple of years and have kind of worked their way to the top in NXT.
Who do you see coming in, possibly debuting on the main roster?
Well, I could see Tommaso Ciampa.
Yep.
Who just lost his title.
That makes
Braun Breaker.
All the sense of the world to me.
He should be in it because he's been in NXT for so long, and they always move like Damian Priest to the main roster, Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, Karrion Kross. He was there longer than any of them.
Yeah,
he's been there for a very long time. He needs to be there. If not, he's going to AEW.
Now, from what I've been reading, he's been working some dark matches before Raw and SmackDown, and he's dyed his beard black. No more like gray in it. So he'll probably debut tomorrow, but on Saturday as Thomas Champion, the new WWE superstar. Something they're going to ruin him somehow. But I definitely can see Ciampa going in. What else? Who else? Anybody else?
Well, you were just talking about Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne has been in a Royal Rumble a few years ago, and so I think he needs to go to the main roster. Pete Dunne would be perfect for that. I've also heard Roderick Strong. He's not got much left, and he just lost the North American Championship, or the Cruiserweight Championship, to the North American Champion. I can see LA Knight. I've heard rumors of him possibly coming in. He's an older wrestler compared to all the guys that they're trying to push.
He hasn't been in NXT as long.
He hasn't, but he's been in wrestling long. Mm-hmm. What about somebody that maybe just be a one-time appearance that's not going to be on the main roster? What about Braun Breaker? Can you see him going to the Royal Rumble?
I could see it happening.
Vince would be
him just being there.
It would be drooling to get Braun Breaker. I'm sure he loves Braun Breaker. We can't stand him,
especially his name. His name is just the worst part.
I have nothing against him as a person. He's actually pretty good in the ring. He's just, he's not just.
But he became world champion way too fast.
Absolutely.
Like NXT 2.0 started like last September, October, something like that.
Yeah.
And then already he's world champion like 4 months later.
Yeah.
And he had his first world title match was like the night that he debuted, the first night of 2.0. They were like teasing it.
Yeah.
At the end of the night, they just like teased it.
And we joke.
Or on the second night.
We don't dislike Braun Breaker like we dislike Baron Corbin.
No,
we don't.
No.
And Braun Breaker is young. He's inexperienced. That's not his fault. He's got to learn. And I understand 90% of the wrestlers have made up names. They don't always use their names, so that's fine. You don't have to use. They got to come up with things. But Braun Breaker is stupid, and I just can't get over
Breaker. And the
breaker part. The 2Ks. 2Ks. And when you have Steiner, you are a Steiner. You have a lineage of your dad and your uncle as being top Hall of Fame guys, even though they're not in the Hall of Fame, should be. Why can't he just be Braun Steiner or something better than Braun breaker that is shoved down our throats. We're so sick of it. He's going to be in the Royal Rumble. Speaking of stupid, what about Gunther? Why change Walter? Is Gunther so much better than Walter?
It's really not.
Neither one of them are great. It's just an old name. But
remember the first night we saw Walter fight, and it was when he won the title?
Yeah.
We kept making all those jokes about his name, because it's kind of an unusual name for wrestling.
That's just Walter.
Just
Yeah.
Walter. And, of course, now you see a lot of weirder names like Braun Breaker and, Grayson Waller or whatever.
Yeah.
Tony D'Angelo, all these new NXT 2.0. Who thought of these names? But we always made jokes about the Muppets, like Walter from the Muppets.
Yeah, the new Muppets movie had a character they used to love. Walter, he was like the new Muppet or whatever. Yeah, Walter's not a cool name. Let's just be honest. But why switch it? We've got used to it. He's become a champion. He's been in the wrestling for a few years that we've seen. Leave him as Walter. Yeah, why? And it's not like they changed it to something cool. It's like, wow, that's awesome. No, it's Gunther. That's dumber than Walter. Yeah. It just doesn't make any sense.
No.
I just don't get it. And we'll see what happens. I'm sure there's going to be some other people. There'll probably be a veteran here. I've heard Mick Foley could come in. He's like 60 years old, 55 years old. I love Foley.
I thought WWE was mad at him, all the stuff that...
Yeah, he's been...
Yeah, he says about...
Well, I just heard that rumor. I don't know if that's true. I'm sure there's going to be somebody... it'd be cool, I'm not going to say who. There'll be some... how about we bring anybody in and throw out Madcap Moss, throw out Baron Corbin.
Just make sure they're not in it. That'll make that'll make everything better. If you just leave out Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin.
If you would have told us 6 months to a year and a half ago that 70 wrestlers were going to be fired, and say, okay, wow. And then we found out everything that's happened since 2020. It was like, well, they had to cut back. They didn't have live shows. They had to cut some people out. Okay, I don't run the books, but look at the guys they cut out: Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman.
Why?
And Aleister Black, and they let Cole go, and I don't understand it. Wow. All the guys that I would have said Keith Lee, Karrion Kross, all the people that I would have said keep, they got rid of.
Why?
But we have all these other garbage wrestlers. Now, some of them are good.
Corbin, Madcap Moss.
It's so stupid. I don't get it. But we'll see. This weekend is a Royal Rumble. We're going to do an official preview with Brady on Saturday. We're going to watch a Royal Rumble. This is the first WWE pay-per-view that I've been excited about probably since WrestleMania, maybe SummerSlam, I don't know. We're just not excited about it anymore. But it's the Royal Rumble and it's still fun and we still want to see it. There's so much history.
Yeah. Who's going to win it? Who's going to win it this year?
We'll make our predictions on Saturday. We can't let that cat on the back.
Yeah.
I got a feeling I know, and I don't know if I like it. We'll see what happens. It's all going to lead to WrestleMania. Besides WrestleMania week, WWE-wise, this is the best week in wrestling because it's going toward the Royal Rumble, probably the best show of the year, maybe besides WrestleMania. Enjoy it, and comment down below if you got somebody you think might be coming in that we're not thinking of. That's part of the Royal Rumble, the excitement of who's coming in, And in fact, that Johnny Knoxville is stupid to me. Why put a slot? Why? It's dumb. Why waste a spot? Why waste a spot on somebody that's not going to win? Maybe it'll give you a little bit of publicity. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Is it better than Drew Carey? Probably. All right. Enjoy it.
Yep. See ya. Go across the streams. The live streams.